What's up, guys? Welcome back, my friends, to the last episode of our Modern Cocktail series. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm slowly melting in this garage. We have an AC unit, but it's not a very good AC unit. And not only that, but when we turn it on, we have to turn the lights off because it kicks the power off if we don't. So anyway, I'm very excited to come back with the last 5 Modern Classic cocktails. This was actually kind of a challenge to do because I had to make sure that they were bona fide modern classics. Some of them kind of overlap. I wanted them to be easy to make for you guys so that you guys will actually go and make them. And then also to illustrate that you can make great cocktails with very simple ingredients. We are so happy to be partnered up with Cook Unity for today's video. I love cooking, which you might not know because this is a cocktail channel, but I do. But sometimes I just need a little more time for myself or more time to make some cocktails after dinner. And that's why I've enjoyed Cook Unity. Every meal is ready-made. All I need to do is heat it up in the oven and plate it. No more prep cooking. Every meal was created by a chef with real ingredients, never frozen, no artificial ingredients, and humanely raised meat, and organic when it's possible. So you gotta love that. Cook Unity offers a wide range of meals from over 7 different dietary options that include vegan, paleo, and gluten-free. In the past, ready-made meals have not really been my favorite, and I always try to make dinner for my family with healthy, fresh ingredients, but Cook Unity has really made that even easier. Every meal has tasted like a home-cooked dinner. I especially like the orecchiette napolitana with Italian sausage, and today Marius and I even had a meal for lunch. It's the perfect addition to a busy week. Just go to their website and choose meals from over 70 chefs from some of the best restaurants in the country and select your favorites and have them delivered right to your door, fresh and ready to eat. Now, right now, you can get 50% off your first Cook Unity meals when you go to cookunity.com/barfly and use code barfly at checkout. So the Ellison is a cocktail that is almost identical to the East Side, the only difference being the specs are a little bit different, and then there's the addition of Angostura bitters. It was created by a New York City bartender named Charles Hardwick at a place called Blue Owl, also in New York City, of course. It is a banger of a cocktail though, and it definitely belongs on this list. I think you guys are really gonna like it. So first thing we're gonna do, grab our tin, set it aside so that we know it's there, and then we just feel so good and so secure in ourselves that it's here. 3/4 ounce of lime juice, 1/2 ounce of simple syrup, a couple dashes Angostura bitters, 3 cucumber slices, 4 to 5 mint. I'm using bad technique here. What you want to do is get the cucumber over the mint so that you press the cucumber and you don't over press the mint and then extract those unfortunate vegetal flavors. We're going to do 1.5 ounces of Hendrix, and we're just going to give this a light muddle. Fill our tin with ice here. Give it a strain. Voila. The Ellison. We definitely get that cucumber in the flavor profile. He really compounded that flavor in the drink, so that's no surprise. Obviously the mint is very light and bright, and then of course the Angostura bitters is just giving it a little bit of spice and then balancing out the sugar, but there's not a ton of sugar, so it's really bright and really tart, but it is pretty well balanced as well. So there it is, guys, the Ellison. The Garibaldi is an Italian cocktail named after Giuseppe Garibaldi, an Italian revolutionary that played a central role in the unification of Italy. And although it falls into the technically classic cocktail category, new life was breathed into it by a New York City bartender named Naren Young at a restaurant called Dante, where he created his fluffy juice technique for this cocktail. And now I see it on the internet all the time, and I kind of feel like it definitely deserves to be in this video, and you guys should know how to make it. It is a really simple 2-ingredient highball. When Naren Young created this cocktail, he used a Breville juicer to juice oranges and make it super fluffy. We don't have that, so we're gonna be using a milk frother to do the same thing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a tin here, and then we're just gonna put our orange juice into there like so. You only need about 4 ounces of it, but I'm just gonna fluff our eyes the rest of it. You wanna make sure that you use a milk frother that is very powerful. Don't use like a weak one, because if you use a weak one, it's not gonna fluff it properly. And if you don't have one of these, you can actually put it into a shaking tin without any ice and then just aerate it by hand that way. So if you don't have it, you can still make the drink. So we're just gonna fluff our eyes here. I'm gonna put some ice in it. We're gonna do 2 ounces of Campari and around 4 ounces of juice. And to garnish, just a little 1/2 orange wheel. And there it is, the Garibaldi. All right, let's give this a taste. First, we gotta make sure that it's well mixed. So what's so brilliant about that cocktail is that you do taste all the Campari, but Campari's bitterness, the intense bitterness that you get with it, is tempered by the sweetness and the tartness of the orange juice. And then of course we know that orange flavors go so well with Campari. It's just a match made in heaven. It's a great brunch cocktail, low ABV. There it is, the Garibaldi. The Trident was created by bartender Robert Hess in 2002, and there's a couple of things that are really remarkable about this drink. Number one is that back in 2002, nobody knew that the ingredients that we're about to use actually existed. And number two, it's one of those rare cocktails that works in an equal parts format, just like a Negroni. When you see the ingredients, you're gonna wonder how these all work, but they do, and they do brilliantly. It's really difficult to taste a cocktail within the context of the time that it was created, because you can't just erase all of the things that you know and all of the advances in drinking that we have had. It is still an incredibly informative and then also very, very pleasing cocktail to drink. 2 dashes of peach bitters, 1 ounce of Cynar, 1 ounce of Aquavit, and 1 ounce of Fino Sherry. But if you don't have Fino but have Manzanilla, that will work as well. Give it a stir. Strain. And then garnish with a lemon twist. All right, let's give it a taste. The way that the Fino Sherry and the Aquavit combines is fantastic. You get those botanicals, and then you also have the sharpness and that acidity that you get with the sherry, but then on top of that, you get some body and bitterness from the Cynar. It plays together so nicely. It's so hard to describe the flavor profile. And the other thing is that you really get those underlying peach bitters. And what's nice about those peach bitters is that it's tempering a little bit of the sweetness of the Cynar. It's playing up a little bit of bitterness, but it's also playing up that really like light stone fruit flavor. And so what you have here is something that's like kind of akin to like, hard to describe. It's like juicy in the mid palate, if that makes sense. And then it devolves to the Cynar's bitterness a little bit, and you get the sharpness of the sherry combined with the botanicals of the Aquavit. I know all the drinks that we're making in this video, they're all fantastic. This is one of the better ones. This is one of the best. This is one of my favorites. So there it is, guys, the Trident. El Pepino is a margarita riff that doesn't really have any definitive creation details, or I couldn't find any on the internet anyway, but they're very, very common. I've seen it not only on the internet a ton, but also in a lot of different restaurants. And the margarita and margarita riffs are very easily customizable. You can use passion fruit, pineapple, cilantro, depending on how you want the cocktail to hit. It is a very refreshing cocktail in the summertime. It's a complete porch sipper. It's a banger. You guys are really gonna like it. So let's do it. First thing we're gonna do here is grab a plate and some tahini and spread it out like so. And you wanna make sure to spread it out kind of evenly. I saw this little technique that our good friend Amanda, AKA Bad Birdie, did on one of her videos, and I wanna try it off. So we're just gonna lop off the end of our line, and then we're just gonna score it like so. You wanna go pretty deep with it, and then we're just gonna cut that notch off. You have a shelf here that fits perfectly on the glass like so, and you can just go around the glass to rim, and then we're just gonna roll our tahini. And then in our tin, we're gonna do 1 ounce of lime juice, 3 cucumber slices, 3 jalapeno slices, 3/4 of an ounce of agave, 1.5 ounces of Tequila Blanco. So we're gonna add in our ice here. Ice to the tin. And strain. No extra garnish necessary. Let's give it a taste. It's a little bit sweet, it's a little bit tart, pretty gosh darn spicy, and you get all of those nice cucumber flavors as well. Cucumbers are interesting because they are, I just learned this from Marius, technically melons, and they kind of have that melon vibe. They also have some green flavors, and they're super refreshing. Add a little bit of jalapeno and you get a little bit of spice, a little bit more green flavors that are really playing well with the agave syrup, but then also tequila and all of those nice kind of roasted agave flavors. And then of course you have nice, bright, sharp lime juice. It is perfect, magnifique, and for a little extra spice, you've got the tahini rim. There it is, El Pepino. The 1910 was created by former Boston area bartender Ezra Starr. Ezra Starr really made her bones as the guiding force behind the bar drink for many, many years. Around the time of the pandemic, she parted ways with drink, moved to Hong Kong and opened another bar called Mostly Harmless, in which she is a part owner. This drink, the 1910, takes its name after the year of the Mexican Revolution. 2 dashes of Peychaud's bitters, half an ounce of maraschino liqueur, 3/4 of an ounce of Espadin Mezcal. The original actually used the Del Maguey Tobala, but I like it with Espadin. 3/4 an ounce of cognac, and 1 ounce of Punta Mes, which is an Amaro vermouth blend, and you need to refrigerate it. This is one of my absolute favorite things as well. I love to drink this stuff neat, but if you do, just know it can lead to pretty terrible, pretty brutal hangovers. Grab some ice. I want to get a big spot. I want to get a big hand-flavored ice here. Break the first one. Well, maybe we'll crack the second one. Didn't crack enough for me. I want another one. There we go. We'll add in the rest of our ice. Give it a stir. Always use chilled glass. We're going to strain it. And we're going to do an orange twist. Gotta say, I'm not very impressed with the oranges lately that I have seen. Good sip. Oh my God. So what's nice about the Punta Mes is that although it has Amaro in it and it has a bitter aftertaste, it also has this bright, refreshing thing that goes really well with citrus. So you're getting that right on the front. Then you're also getting the Peychaud's bitters, and you get that sort of anise kind of Creole flavor that it is imparting into the cocktail. On top of that, the cognac is bringing in some barrel notes, and also the mezcal has a touch of smoke. It's Espadin, so it's not super smoky, but it also has a lot of kind of minerality to it and citrus to it that really blends well with the other ingredients. And then of course we add a little orange twist that you're getting that sharp sweetness from the orange. It's a little bit more sweet than bitter, very sharp in flavor, but also sweet and not as sharp as a lemon. I don't know if I just made any sense there, but that is what I'm getting from this cocktail. It is a lot of ingredients in one drink, but it is fantastic. And it has a depth of flavor and a cohesiveness in the flavor profile that is chef's kiss. So there it is, guys, the 1910. The Bitter Italian was created by myself at Cole's French Dip in 2013, and it was created because a customer came in and did that thing that a lot of bartenders don't really like, that they say like, oh, I went to Chicago and I had this great drink at the Violet Hour, which is one of my favorite bars anyway. And, but at this time I hadn't been there yet. It was just all made out of bitters and it was just so good. He was talking about the bitter Giuseppe, but I had no idea what a bitter Giuseppe was at the time. I thought about it, and then I like shook up a prototype that would eventually become this drink, the Bitter Italian. Half an ounce lemon juice, half an ounce of maraschino liqueur, 3/4 of an ounce of Aperol, and 1 1/4 ounces of Amaro Chichiaro. Now this drink is a little bit challenging for people who are in a lot of different markets. Spirits are regional products, and sometimes it's hard to find these specific products, but what's kind of great about the template of this drink is that you can sub out the maraschino liqueur for pretty much any maraschino liqueur, or if you have Kirschwasser, which is like German unaged, you know, cherry liqueur, that would work as well. The Amaro Chichiaro is a proprietary flavor because it is an Amaro with a blend of very specific botanicals in it, but you can do this cocktail with Amaro Nonino and it's gonna taste great. And Aperol, of course, is one of those red aperitif liqueurs. There are many different brands that have various levels of sugar, various levels of bitterness, and you can play with switching these ingredients out, different Amari, different aperitif, different maraschino or cherry liqueurs, to come up with your own riff on this cocktail. In a rocks glass, we're going to add some ice. Technically, this cocktail can actually be shaken or stirred. If you shake it, you're gonna get a little bit more dilution, you're gonna get some aeration of the lemon. It's gonna be a little bit more combined. But if you stir this cocktail, you're gonna have something that's like kind of robustly flavorful, if that makes sense, and then also really silky on the palate. So really it's kind of up to you. I really like to shake it. I like to have that aeration. I like to have the extra dilution, but it is good both ways. Into our tin, we can do some ice here. Double strain it like so. And we're gonna do a little lemon twist here. Just get that fresh lemon. Discard it, and then I'm gonna take these guys here and give it a nice dehydrated lemon. There you have it. What I love about this cocktail is the challenge of creating something that is all made of basically bitters. You get dryness from the maraschino, it plays up the tartness of the lemon, and then the sugar content both in the Aperol and in the Amaro Chiaro are balancing out that lemon. You get the kind of heavy bitterness of the Aperol, and then you get those more substantial mid-palate bitters from the Amaro Chiaro. Amaro Chiaro is gonna be a little bit on the sweeter side of Amaro, so not as bitter, and then it just all plays together really nicely. And then of course we have the fresh lemon scent on top of it from that twist. But then what we did is we also took a dehydrated lemon wheel and we put this on top. And what a lot of people think about dehydrated just citrus wheels in general is that, oh, it's like it looks nice and it's a nice sustainable garnish. But really this is a functional garnish because if you smell it, you get this really nice, vibrant, citrusy tea style scent. And since your sense of flavor is dominated by your sense of smell, really, actually, if you don't smell, you don't taste that much. 85 to 90% of your sense of flavor comes from your nose. And so when you have something like this and you're sipping it and smelling it at the same time, you're kind of adding in that flavor profile without adding anything into the body of the cocktail, so you don't need to rebalance it, but you have another flavor profile manipulating the end result. So there you have the Bitter Italian. I'd be a complete liar if I didn't tell you guys that I felt a little wistful at the end of this video. This is the last Modern Classic series that we're gonna do. And while we were shooting the last cocktail today, I wondered, what will I do next? I don't know, only time will tell. But you guys definitely have 10 episodes of Modern Classic cocktails, all of which have very simple ingredients that are easy to make. So go out, make them, have fun. This is where I would normally end the video, but I've got a couple of things to say to you guys. And one of those things is that we were launching a bunch of new products in our store. So check it out at theeducatedbarfly.com. Go to the shop link. We got a bunch of new t-shirts. I don't know if you noticed, but we used our own dehydrated citrus. We're launching a whole bunch of dehydrated citrus in the store as well. So if you're interested in buying some, you can. I think all of those are really good reasons to go to the website. Anyway, that's it. Commercial over. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys on another time.